Hey, sports fans, welcome back to another episode of Bucky's Sports Show. We're going to recap the Braves Rays series and we'll look ahead to the Blue Jays that's coming up on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here. First off, we'll start with the recap of Game 1 here. This was Bryce Elder versus Taj Bradley. Matt Olson got an RBI single in the top of the first to make it 1-0 Braves. Brandon Lau hit a sacrifice fly in the bottom of the third to make it a 1-1 tie. In the bottom of the fourth, after a lengthy review overturned a Rays run, Danny Jansen blasted a 2-run home run to left to give the Rays a 3-1 lead. In the bottom of the sixth, the Rays added 2 more runs, one off of a Christopher Morel home run, and the other off of a Danny Jansen RBI single to make it 5-1 Rays. In the eighth, the Braves tried to call their way back in with solo home runs from Marcell Ozuna and Ozzie Albies, making it 5-3 Rays. In the bottom of the eighth, Danny Jansen recorded an RBI ground rule double. That gave us our final score of 6-3 Rays. Braves notables. Austin Riley was the only Brave with 2 hits. He went 2 for 4. He keeps raising his average. It got up to 245 after that game. Ozuna and Albies were both 1 for 3 with a home run and a walk each. An interesting note here, Zach Thompson came out of the bullpen in the 7th, making his first MLB appearance since 2022. He threw 1 1/3 innings, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and struck out 1. Todd Bradley got the win, Bryce Elder with the loss, and the save went to Pete Fairbanks. My takes on that game, I really hope that was a hangover game. Game the night before ended at 12:53 a.m. It's just when you have a game that ends that late and then you have to travel, it really just wears you out. And then Michael Harris II was 1 for 5 with a strikeout. He is hitting 208. That's just not good enough for the leadoff hitter. The problem is, anyone else you consider to be a leadoff hitter isn't hitting much better. And then Danny Jansen was 3 of 4 with 4 RBI, a home run, and a double. He is a one-man wrecking crew that the Braves just could not figure out Friday night. They just could not figure him out. He single-handedly beat the Braves. Game 2, AJ Smith-Shawver versus Drew Rasmussen. Junior Caminero homered in the bottom of the first to get the scoring started, making it 1-0 Rays. In the bottom of the third, Jonathan Aranda walked with the bases loaded, leading to a 2-0 Rays lead. Smith-Shawver was able to limit a 1-out bases loaded situation to just 1 run by striking out the next 2 batters. In the bottom of the 6th, the Rays loaded the bases with no outs after a Nick Allen error. Montero was able to pitch out of the jam. Sean Murphy led off the top of the 7th with a home run, making it 2-1 Braves. The Rays answered in the bottom of the 7th with an RBI single from Aranda. In the top of the 8th, Marcell Ozuna singled, followed by Matt Olson hitting into a double play. Ozzie Albies and Sean Murphy hit back-to-back home runs to make it 3-3. In the bottom of the 8th, Dylan Lee avoided trouble when he picked off Jose Caballero, attempting to steal third. In the top of the 9th, Nick Allen led off with a double, followed by a 2-run home run by Michael Harris II, giving the Braves a 5-3 lead. Austin Riley and Ozuna followed with singles, allowing Olson to hit into yet another double play. And the bottom of the 9th, Jonathan Aranda homered to give us our final score, a 5-4 Braves win. Braves notables in this game. Michael Harris II was 2 of 4 with a home run, 2 RBI. Austin Riley was 3 of 5 with 1 single. He hit so hard it hit the wall and bounced back so far he couldn't make it a double. That actually happened to a couple of different Braves this weekend. I think with that game being played at Tampa in the spring training facility for the Yankees, that might be a problem for a lot of teams, not just the Braves that they had this weekend. Ozzie Albies was 2 of 4 with a home run and 1 RBI. Sean Murphy is 2 of 4 with 2 home runs and 2 RBI. Marcell Ozuna was 2 for 5. Dylan Lee got the win. He's 1-1 on the year. Cole Sulser got the loss. The save went to Raisel Iglesias, his second of the season. It was his 200th career save. So a little bit of a milestone save there for him. My takes on this: pitching was big in this game. Things could have gone sideways quickly, especially in the third with the bases loaded, only 1 out, and already walking in a run. But Smith-Shawver was able to get out of that with no more damage. The offense relied on the home run ball for offense, as all runs were scored by hitting home runs. The offense, they still left 10 men on base. They have to clean that up. And it seems like every time Austin Riley comes up with runners in scoring position, he strikes out or pops out. Matt Olson was hitting 196 and grounding into double plays every time we have a rally going. These guys have got to get going for Atlanta to claw their way back. Yes, it is still early, but when does that excuse grow tiresome? Game 3, we have Chris Sale versus Joe Boyle. Bottom of the first, Yandy Diaz led off with a home run. Junior Caminero singled and advanced to third. On the next at bat, on a throwing error by right fielder Jared Kelnick, trying to double up Caminero. That led to a Jose Caballero RBI single. Rays led 2-0 after the first. In the bottom of the fourth, Coco Montez singled home run, making it 3-0 Braves. In the bottom of the fifth, Christopher Morel had an RBI single, making it 4-0 Rays after 5. In the top of the sixth, Nick Allen led off by getting hit by a pitch. He stole second, advanced to third on a throwing error by the catcher. Eli White followed with a walk. Michael Harris II had an RBI fielder's choice. And just to note here, that RBI came before any hit was had. So Atlanta's runs at this point in the game are 1, and their hits are still 0. Marcell Ozuna reached on an error. Then Matt Olson got Atlanta's first hit of the game with an RBI single on an umpire-reviewed home run. The call in the field was upheld. It was about 3 inches from going out of the stadium, but that's another one where I talked about there in Game 2 with Austin Riley. That ball hit the wall, and he's not able to get a double out of it. I don't know how much we'll see that in Tampa, but I'm glad the Braves have that trip out of the way and they don't have to go back there. Ozzie Albies, he had an RBI single, making it 4-3 Rays. Then the Rays answered in the bottom of the sixth. Jonathan Aranda singled home a run, and Junior Caminero hit a 3-run home run, making it 8-3. Braves were able to get singles in the 7th from Austin Riley and in the 9th from Ozzie Albies, but couldn't do anything with them. Rays win 8-3. Braves notables in this one is not good. Ozzie Albies was 2 of 3 with an RBI and a stolen base. Matt Olson was 1 of 4 with an RBI. Austin Riley is 1 of 4. Michael Harris II had an RBI. they were able to scratch out 4 hits. The win was Joe Boyle. The loss was Chris Sale. He's 0-2. My takes on this game. This game was hard to watch. When this offense can only manage 4 hits in a game, it's awful. The bullpen in the 6th was terrible. Chris Sale was terrible. In fact, this appears to be 2019 Chris Sale, where he finished 6-11 with Boston. I hope I'm wrong, but he has not been good this year. He has been brutally bad. My series takeaways. Something has to change quickly. I understand we are 15 games in, but 4-11 for this team is unacceptable and ridiculous. I also understand that teams have these stretches through the season. However, when you start this way, you can't have any more throughout the season. At this point, I think you have to look at swapping Albies and Harris at the leadoff spot. Harris is hitting .214 to Albies .250. Harris has struck out 14 times to Albies 10. Albies has 6 walks to Harris's 2. I just think the offense will click better with Albies leading off. Albies is getting on base more than Harris, and that's what you need your leadoff hitter to do. Look at pitches and get on base. Harris is not doing that. Harris is swinging at everything, and he's striking out. Albies has strikeouts, but he's also walking. He's taking pitches. He's being selective. Right now, Albies is a better leadoff hitter than Harris. And also, I have not found out anything on Marcell Ozuna yet. He did not look good running the bases today. He was removed from the game. And then if he misses any stretch of games, then you take one of two hitting over 300 out of the lineup. The other is Nick Allen, who isn't an everyday player. So if Ozuna does miss, who do you put in there? You've got absolutely no one that you can put in that will hit for average and power. If he's missing and the offense is already atrocious, what's going to happen then? All right, let's go on to the preview. The Braves, sitting at 4-10 and 5th in the NL East, are at Toronto Blue Jays. They're 9-7 and 1st in the AL East. The Braves offense notables, Marcell Ozuna, he leads the team with a .306 average. He's tied with 8 RBI and tied with 3 home runs. And like I said just a minute ago, he could be hurt, could miss some time. Even if he's day-to-day, who knows if he's available for this series even. The good news is he's just a DH. He doesn't play in the field. So I don't know how that'll factor into it. But, I mean, numbers don't lie. He's our best hitter. The other notable I have here is Sean Murphy. He's off to a good start hitting. He's hitting .265 with 3 home runs and 6 RBI in 5 games. Everyone else has played in 15. He's played in 5, and he's tied for first in home runs already, and only 2 behind in RBI. So, you look at that and you think if he wouldn't have got hurt there in spring training, how that would have been different. But he's back, so hopefully that'll help here in Toronto. Toronto's offensive notables, George Springer's hitting .375. Andres Jimenez leads the team with 3 home runs. Bo Bichette and Springer are tied with 10 RBI. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., since he's just fresh off his $500 million contract, the 3rd highest ever, he's hitting .302, I believe. I have .30, so I believe it's .302. No home runs, 7 RBI. This will probably be the series his power gets going. Wouldn't surprise me in the least bit. Let's go ahead and look at game one. That's Monday night at 7:07. That's Grant Holmes versus Easton Lucas. Grant Holmes comes in 0-1 record, a 4.00 ERA in 9 innings, 7 hits, 8 walks, 11 Ks, and a whip of 1.671. Lucas comes in, he's 2-0. He's got a 0.00 ERA in 10 and 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 walks, 11 Ks, and a whip of 0.68. Holmes came in relief against the Padres. He threw 1 inning, striking out 2, giving up no hits, walks, or runs. His starts were against the Phillies and Dodgers. So his starts were against the 2 best offenses in the National League. His first start against the Dodgers, he went 4 innings, he gave up 4 runs. Against the Phillies, he went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, 4 walks, but he didn't allow anyone to score. He got into jams, but he was able to get out of jams. Hopefully, that is a good sign coming into this game. In Easton's 2 starts against Washington and Boston, he was incredible. No runs, 4 hits, 3 walks. It just doesn't get any better than that. My game prediction, Blue Jays take game 1. Easton's been phenomenal on the mound, and the Braves bats are struggling. I'll go with pitching in game 1. Okay, game 2 is Tuesday, 7:07 start. The Braves have Spencer Schwellenbach, and the Blue Jays have Kevin Gausman. Spencer Schwellenbach comes in at 1-0 with a 0.45 ERA in 20 innings. He's given up 10 hits, 3 walks, 19 strikeouts, and a whip of 0.65. Gausman comes in at 1-1 with a 2.31 ERA and 19 1/3 innings, giving up 9 hits, 3 walks, 14 Ks, and a whip of 0.62. Schwellenbach is 0-1 in 1 start against the Blue Jays. Guys who have hit him are 1-3 against him. So there's four or 5 of them that have a hit against him, but they're 1-3, and it's not overwhelming. That was kind of last year when Schwellenbach was struggling a little bit as a rookie. This year, Schwellenbach has been absolutely phenomenal. He has been the Braves' ace, and will probably continue to be the Braves' ace even after Strider returns. Gausman is 0-1 in 3 starts against the Braves. The Braves have hit him well in the past. The Braves have their numbers are fantastic. You see 500, you see 667, you see 333. The only person that has not got a hit off of him is Ozzie Albies. Everyone else has a hit off of him that has faced him. So with that, my game prediction in this one, both starters have been good this year, but Schwellenbach has been better. I look for Schwellenbach to stay hot, and I look for the Braves to stay hot against Gausman, and the Braves to win this game. Okay, game 3, Wednesday, 1:07 p.m. This is where we get a little bit of excitement going. The Braves have not announced who they're starting, which is leading to speculation that Spencer Strider returns. Obviously, if he returns, he doesn't have a start this year. And the Blue Jays are going with Chris Bassett. He is 1-0 with a 0.98 ERA in 17 1/3 innings, giving up 17 hits, 3 walks, 21 Ks, and a whip of 1.09. Speculation is Strider starts. I don't know, but that is the word of today. He has been phenomenal in his rehab starts. He has struck out 27 in 13 1/3 innings. He will probably be on a pitch count, but he would be better than anyone else they would throw. Let's go to Bassett. Bassett is a former Met. He is 2-2 with a 2.92 ERA and 4 appearances against the Braves. The Braves have good numbers against Bassett. He never dominated the Braves. He got a couple wins against them, but that was more from a lack of pitching standpoint than a lack of offense standpoint. So, the Braves have good history here against him, so I'm looking for that to play into this too. My game prediction here is if Strider returns, I think it sparks the Braves. Having who you thought your ace would be at the start of the year will be a mental advantage. I think they'll feed off of him. I think the Braves win the rubber match. And I really think once Strider joins the team in Toronto, I really think that will spark them. I think some excitement will begin. When you get him back, that's going to energize that club. And I really think that this series, if Strider returns, if Ozuna is healthy to play, I like the Braves to win. I wouldn't bet on it. The bats could remain ice cold, but they have to wake up sometime. And they need something to wake them up. And I think they wake up now with Strider's return. Again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong hundreds of times before. I'll be wrong hundreds of times again. But I like their bats to wake up, then Strider giving them that spark that they need, and guys getting over this cold start. Starts in Canada where it's probably snowing. So, wouldn't that be ironic? With that, that is the recap and the preview for the Braves. Like, subscribe, follow, review, comment. You have something you want me to talk about, email me at buckysportsshow@gmail.com. Again, that's buckysportsshow@gmail.com. And we will see you up on my next recap preview. And enjoy the games and go Braves!